Once the government spent billions to acquire it, the Heart of Dominion. Now it sits in a display case, collecting dust. Nobody wants it even for free, but the moment I lay eyes on it, I decide to bind it as my first-class template. Everyone thinks I've lost my mind. My great-grandmother nearly kicks over her coffin in rage. But what they don't know is, the Heart of Dominion can awaken the talents of the insect sovereign, granting the power of infinite breeding and evolutionary recombination. Hello, I'd like to buy this. Are you sure, sir? This is just an ordinary red crystal, but it's priced at 10,000 credits. Yes, I'm sure. Very well, sir. Let me wrap it up for you. No need. I grab the Heart of Dominion directly, pay quickly, and stride out of the shop amid a chorus of mocking laughter. But the moment I step outside, my body freezes. A system prompt echoes in my mind. No class template detected. The Heart of Dominion meets the activation requirements. Fusion beginning. Fusion complete. Congratulations. You have obtained the class Insect Sovereign. Talent 1, Sovereign's Heart. You gain a hive capable of breeding swarm units. As long as the swarm exists in this world, you can revive infinitely. Talent 2, Infinite Evolution. You may evolve any single swarm unit without limit. Talent 3, Infinite Vessel. You can hold additional class templates. Talent 4, Feedback. Every swarm unit. Boost your strength, speed, and spirit attributes by a proportional amount. I stare at the class panel, heart racing, take a deep breath, and force myself to stay calm. This class is incredibly powerful, but only if I build it up first. For now, the top priority is getting into a top practitioner academy. Only then will I have enough resources to grow the Insect Sovereign to its full strength. I rush home, barely containing my excitement, step into my room and sit cross-legged on the bed, reaching inward to feel my class talents. When I open my eyes again, I find myself inside the world of the hive. It is vast and empty, gray mist drifting in every direction, and I stand on a small island floating in the air. At the center of the island stands a stone monolith, displaying the swarm units available for breeding and evolution. Bladebug, basic melee unit. Thornbug, basic ranged unit. Brainbug, basic caster unit. Without hesitation, I make my choice. Breed a Bladebug. Breeding a Bladebug costs 10 energy points. Remaining energy points 10. Confirm? Confirm. I select Bladebug. The word has barely left my mind when a pitch-black Bladebug, roughly 3 meters tall, twin blade limbs like a mantis, materializes from thin air. In that instant, I sense the bond between us. A single thought is all it takes to command its every move, even to end its own life without hesitation. I can't wait to test what a Bladebug can really do. I hurry out of the house and head toward the fringe zone beyond the city gates. Once inside, I scan my surroundings with caution. Most beasts here are level 1 to 3. One Bladebug should be more than enough protection. As I pass through a stretch of crumbling ruins, a furious roar erupts from my side. I turn to see a beast roughly 2 meters long, a blood-red wild boar huffing hard, murder blazing in its eyes as it locks onto me. The Bloodfang boar has a reputation as a rookie killer. Its raw strength and speed rival many level 4 beasts, and when it charges, inexperienced rookies simply can't react in time. They die on its tusks before they know what hit them. But when I see the Bloodfang boar, my first reaction isn't fear, it's excitement. Those 2 tusks can fetch nearly 2,000 credits back in the city, and right now credits are exactly what I need. I send a mental command, and the Bladebug lets out a sharp screech, shooting forward like a ghost. The Bloodfang boar doesn't flinch, it charges straight at the Bladebug, just as the boar's tusks are. A split second from piercing through, the Bladebug leaps straight over the boar and brings its blade limbs crashing down. A soft crack, a gaping wound splits open in the boar's skull, and it crashes to the ground. I step forward, pry out both tusks with practiced ease, and toss them into my pack. Then I reach out and harvest the carcass. Bloodfang boar carcass harvested, gained 15 energy points. My breath nearly stops. Breeding 1 Bladebug only costs 10 energy points, which means 2 Bloodfang boars is enough to breed 3 Bladebugs. How many Bloodfang boars are there in this entire zone? If I kill and harvest them all, how many Bladebugs could I breed? Meanwhile, somewhere else in the zone, Uncle Lee, this gold digger rat has way too much health. We've chased it all the way from Chaos Forest to the Fringe Zone, and it's still at 10%. Miss Lou, it may barely have any attack power, but it's still a level 5 boss. The master spent 5 million credits just to get intel on this one. Please be patient, miss. 5 million credits is a lot, but it's worth it. Kill this gold digger rat and it's guaranteed to drop a hidden class template. The awakening ceremony is a week away. I refuse to walk out with a common class. You will get a powerful hidden class template, miss, I'm sure of it. But first, we need to finish off this boss. Lewis Lee charges straight at the heavily wounded gold digger rat and brings his blade down hard. Caught in the triple slash, the rat has no room to dodge. It takes every hit dead on. Bright red damage numbers burst from its body. Its health is nearly gone. One more strike will finish it. Nice one, Uncle Lee, finish it. Triple slash. But at that very moment, a golden light blazes across the gold digger rat's body. In an instant, it swells to the size of a car, and its name changes. It is now the Golden Soul Rat. Every wound on the Golden Soul Rat has vanished. In their place, gold and crimson markings twist across its body, radiating an overwhelming aura of raw violence. Warning, a dangerous creature is approaching. Immediate evacuation advised. Evacuate now. This is bad, it evolved. Run, Miss Lou. I'll hold off the Golden Soul Rat. Yana hasn't even had time to react before the Golden Soul Rat comes barreling straight at her. Lewis tries to intercept, but the Golden Soul Rat swats him aside with a casual strike, sending him flying dozens of meters and cutting his health in half. One more hit from the Golden Soul Rat and Lewis is dead. Yana is frozen in terror, rooted to the spot with no idea what to do, staring helplessly as the golden soul rat closes in step by step. Just as Yana is about to meet her end, a volley of thorn spikes suddenly flies from deep within the forest, slamming into the golden soul rat. The beast recoils in pain and stumbles back 2 steps, snapping its gaze toward where the spikes came from. A man in a black mask steps out of the shadows, flanked by dozens upon dozens of swarm units at his back. My pulse quickens with excitement. The golden soul rat is a prize catch. Each one fetches hundreds of millions at auction. More importantly, when a golden soul rat is killed, it is guaranteed to drop a hidden class template of rare quality or above. I can use that hidden class to conceal the truth about my sovereign class. With that thought settled, I sweep my arm forward. All units, move in and take it down. In an instant, the swarm surges forward as one. After 3 hours of hunting, I now command 34 blade bugs and 12 thorn bugs. They pile on at once, swallowing the golden soul rat whole. The thorn bugs hang back at range, unleashing wave after wave of ranged fire. Buried under the swarm, the golden soul rat, so ferocious just moments ago, lets out cry after pitiful cry. I stand off to the side, watching it all with a satisfied look, as casual as if I'm out for a stroll. Yana and Lewis, watching this same scene, have both turned to stone. Are you alright? Ah, yes, I'm fine. Miss Lu, this man must be a summoner. It's hard to believe, running into someone like this out here. In all of Jiangnan City, a true summoner might not appear once in decades. A figure like this, if House Liu could forge a connection with him, our standing would rise by several levels. At this very moment, under the relentless assault of the swarm, the golden soul rat's last sliver of health is ground away. It crashes to the ground, eyes burning with fury and bitter defiance. Congratulations, you have slain the golden soul rat, gained 300 experience. You have reached level 4, gained 1 attribute point. Please allocate. I allow myself a small smile. Level 4 in just a few hours. At this pace, if word got out, jaws would hit the floor. Those wealthy heirs take at least a month or 2 just to reach level 4. I look over the golden soul rat's loot, immediately drawn to a book radiating a faint golden glow. That has to be the hidden class template. I take a deep breath and press my hand directly onto it. The next second, a clear voice rings through my mind. Congratulations, you have obtained the hidden class, Voidwalker. Talent 1, Void Shield. All damage received is reduced by 50%. Talent 2, Void Step. Slash through space and instantly teleport to a target location. Talent 3, Void Rebirth. Upon taking lethal damage, harness the power of the Void to revive. The Void Walker leans heavily into defense and survival. And as the insect sovereign, my one weakness has always been enemy assassination tactics. I have almost no defensive options. With the Void Walker in my arsenal, dying is going to be nearly impossible. I take a slow breath and keep my expression perfectly flat, as if I've just picked up a common piece of gear. I turn to glance at the other two. When I see Yana, I pause for a moment. Yana, the goddess of Jiangnan Third High, known to every student there, and my own classmate. In my last life, she brought me nothing but trouble. And not because I was chasing after her. It was simply because I once exchanged a few words with Yana, and Kaiser Huang, a noble-born heir who had been pursuing her, happened to witness it. From that day on, Kaiser harbored a deep grudge, finding every excuse to make my life miserable, even beating me into serious injury right before the college entrance exam. I barely survived. And Yana, she knew exactly what was going on, and did absolutely nothing to stop him. Noticing my gaze, Yana's face lights up. She steps forward, smiling warmly. Thank you so much for stepping in. I am Yana, eldest daughter of House Liu of Jiangnan City. May I ask your name, senior? So that House Liu may repay this kindness in due time. House Liu means nothing to me. I reply with 2 flat words, don't bother. Then I leave without looking back. Yana watches my retreating figure and panics. She moves to follow, when a blade bug steps in front of her, blocking her path. Lewis watches and sighs with a bitter smile. Miss, a figure this powerful is beyond House Liu's reach. Please let it go. Meanwhile, I make my way with ease into an elegantly decorated high-end shop. The moment I step inside, a fresh-faced attendant approaches with a bright smile. Welcome to Lingxiao Trading House. How may I help you? I pat the pack on my back. I'm here to sell some low-grade gear and materials from beasts in the fringe zone. A flicker of disappointment crosses the attendant's eyes, but she keeps his smile in place. Of course. Sir, please lay out your items and I'll assess their value. I have quite a lot. I'm not sure it'll fit here. The attendant finds this mildly amusing. She clearly doesn't expect much. No problem at all, sir. Just set everything right here. I nod, then upend my entire pack onto the floor. A mountain of materials and equipment spills out, blanketing the entire entryway. The attendant, along with every passerby who catches the sight, freezes in disbelief. The attendant swallows hard, finally understanding why I said it might not fit. Right this way, sir. I'll fetch our appraiser immediately. Please give us just a moment. The attendant snaps into action, suddenly all warmth and urgency. Shortly after, a middle-aged man strides over. Good day, sir. I'm Warren, the manager here. Are you certain you'd like to sell all of this? That's right. What's the total? I've just finished tallying everything up. If you sell it all to Lingxiao Trading House, the combined value comes to 120,000 credits. Hearing that number, even I feel a small stir of surprise. No wonder hunters risk their lives for this work. The money is insane. Good. That price works for me. Warren wastes no time, immediately dispatching the attendant to retrieve the payment. Then carefully, forgive me, sir. Might I ask your name? It would help me serve you better on your future visits. I reply flatly, call me Sovereign. Warren blinks, Clearly it's an alias. He doesn't dare press for more. Powerful figures tend to be unpredictable, and he knows better. Just then the attendant returns carrying a tray, on which rests a single black card. Warren bows respectfully. Sovereign, this is your credits card, loaded with 120,000 credits. In addition, this card doubles as a Lingxiao Trading House black card. 10% off on all future purchases here. I accept it without protest and give my order in the same flat tone. I want a disguise token and a flowing flame sword. The disguise token I can manage, sir, but the flowing flame sword is extremely expensive. Are you certain? Certain? Warren stares at me for a moment. My tone is cold and absolute. There's no room for argument. Before long, a brass token and a deep crimson longsword are brought out. Disguise token. Upon use, disguises your class as warrior. Confirm use? I don't hesitate for even a second. I think the word confirm, and the token dissolves into a stream of light that sinks into my body. I check my status panel. Next to the Voidwalker entry, a new tag now reads, replaced, showing as warrior. Then I turn my attention to the flowing flame sword, a simple-looking piece of gear, yet priced at 100,000 credits. Everyone else is puzzled by the price. Only I know that the flowing flame sword is actually a key. 2 months from now, during the college entrance examination, an unexpected abyss dungeon will appear, and this sword is what unlocks it. I remember it clearly from my last life. A lucky soul used the flowing flame sword to open that dungeon, and walked out with a divine artifact of absurd power. This time, that opportunity belongs to me. I step out of the trading house and watch the people hurrying past on the street, most of them students from Jiangnan 3rd High. I mutter to myself, if I want to get into a good academy, I suppose I still have to show up to class. Just as I'm lost in thought, a voice cuts through from behind, sharp and mocking. Ha, Muge, you actually have the nerve to show your face at school? I told you, every time I see you, you get a beating. You really that eager to get hurt? I look up and my eyes go cold. It's Kaiser. I meet his gaze with pure indifference. In my last life, being cornered by Kaiser would have sent me into a panic. But now, I give him exactly 2 words, get lost. What did you just say? You've got a death wish. Kaiser's eyes go ice cold. I give a cold laugh. You're the one with the death wish. And I strike first. With a sharp crack, Kaiser is slammed to the ground and looks up at me trembling, fear flickering in his eyes. When did you get this strong? I don't bother answering. I walk away and head to school. He watches me go, hand pressed to his burning cheek, and his eyes fill with venom. Muge, you dare humiliate me like this? Just you wait. I'll make sure you suffer. In class 2 at Jiangnan 3rd High, the bald homeroom teacher drones on from the podium. Awakening a strong class is like being handed a wide-open highway in life. But if your awakened class is weak, or if you fail to awaken one at all, don't lose heart. There are still plenty of jobs to do in the settlement, like taking out the trash or sweeping the streets. The class listens in silence. On Blue Star, your class is everything. It determines your talents, your growth rate, and the absolute ceiling of your potential. The teacher keeps talking, then suddenly lets out a cold laugh. Muge, daydreaming again? You think you're actually going to awaken a class? Don't fool yourself. Take a look in the mirror. The classroom turns to look at me, sneering, dismissive. He's so physically weak. Right, he can barely run 800 meters without wheezing. Not smart either. Average grades. Definitely no potential as a practitioner. I arrive at the Hunter's Guild. In the mission hall, people crane their necks toward the central screen, where a wide variety of posted missions scroll past. I scan the list and shake my head. Either the time frame doesn't work, or the rewards are too small. Nothing worth my attention. I let out a quiet sigh. If I want to level up fast, the only real option is the Abyss Dungeon. I walk up to the Abyss Dungeon entrance, where an attendant greets me with a cheerful smile. Hello, sir. Would you like to purchase an Abyss Dungeon entry ticket? I nod and hand over my ID card, 10 tickets. She processes it smoothly. That comes to 10,000 credits. Here you are. Tickets in hand, I step straight into the dungeon portal. The Crimson Forest, unless you're a level 15 practitioner or above, attempting it solo is nothing short of suicide. And yet here I am, a supposed level 4 warrior, walking into this dungeon alone. Inside the Crimson Forest, I take in my surroundings. Endless trees stretch in every direction, massive, blood red, radiating a thick and oppressive aura. The entire forest is shrouded in crimson mist, giving it an eerie, unsettling feel. You have entered the Crimson Forest. A prompt sounds in my ear. At the same moment, a roar erupts from the forest around me. In an instant, 12 beasts close in from all sides and launch their assault. A hail of attacks rains down toward me. Even a level 10 practitioner would struggle under an onslaught this dense. But I simply shout, Void Step. The next second, I reappear 10 meters away. Every single attack hits nothing but air. The beasts are stunned. They stare at the empty spot where I stood, as if utterly baffled by how a living person could just vanish into thin air. Thinking you could overwhelm me with numbers? Let me show you what real numbers look like. I sweep my hand forward and swarm unit after swarm unit materializes across the battlefield. Their imposing forms, radiating the stench of death, flood every inch of the clearing. A blade bug raises its blade limbs and charges straight at a Crimson Flame Bull. In a single exchange, in under 5 seconds, a level 5 Crimson Flame Bull is wiped out. Shortly after, the remaining 11 beasts meet the same end. I lead the swarm deeper into the forest. Despite being only level 4 myself, wrapped inside the swarm's formation, the swarms of beasts all around can't get within reach of me. The moment they get close, they're cut down, dropping experience and loot on the ground. The swarm moves like a bulldozer. Nothing survives in its wake. I hit level 5 in no time. At this rate, I'll reach level 6 before dark. For anyone else, this leveling speed would be unthinkable, but for me, it's still not enough. To push faster, I need to go deeper. Word is there's a tier 2 boss lurking in the depths of the Crimson Forest, the blood aberrant spider, and it hasn't been killed. Yet. In my last life, a mysterious assassin was the one to bring it down, and it dropped a skill book of near divine quality. My eyes light up. Inside the Abyss dungeon, regular monsters respawn endlessly, but there is only one boss. Once it's gone, it's gone. With that in mind, I give a silent command. Disassemble all gear in my pack into energy points. Done. Remaining energy points, 552. I issue the order. Breed 10 brain bugs, 10 thorn bugs, and 20 blade bugs. On the other side of the Crimson Forest, a bald knight lets out a desperate roar. Captain, I can't hold it. In front of him, a colossal blood-red spider is attacking in a frenzy. Even as a shield knight, a rare class, his health has already been slashed to half, because this beast is none other than the Crimson Forest's final boss, the blood aberrant spider. Lily, pale-face, grits her teeth and hurls a fireball, which doesn't even scratch the blood aberrant spider's hide. This is insane. We only came here for some easy grinding. How did we run into the final boss? Beside her, a long-haired archer looks grim. Captain Lily, we can't take much more. I'm out of arrows. At that moment, the blood aberrant spider lets out a sudden screech. Its abdomen contracts sharply, and a flood of plate-sized baby spiders pours out like a tide. The tiny spiders swarm forward in a writhing mass. Screams ring out instantly. The whole team's health plummets, every member teetering on the edge of death. No wonder she looks familiar, so it's her. Didn't recognize her at first, but now it clicks. I watch the unfolding battle and narrow my eyes. This Lily holds the hidden class Lucky Mage, and her class talent is exceptionally high. In my last life, that talent took her all the way to the upper ranks of the Hunters Guild. She's someone worth knowing. With that decided, I give the command. 60 blade bugs split into 4 groups and close in on the blood aberrant spider from all sides. 25 thorn bugs and 20 brain bugs open fire at the same moment. Thorn spikes and fireballs weave together in a barrage, hammering into the blood aberrant spider. The blood aberrant spider recoils, snapping its gaze around in surprise. It can't figure out where all these dark, swarming creatures came from. Lily and her team are just as confused. The moment the blade bug army enters the fray, the swarm of baby spiders is torn to pieces. The very spiders that nearly wiped out Lily's team are dismantled without effort. In under a minute, the blood aberrant spider has lost 1/3 of its health. The blood aberrant spider shrieks in fury, writhing in pain. Blade bugs tear at its limbs, leaving it with no way to break free. Lily and her teammates stare in open-mouthed disbelief at the boss that nearly wiped them out, now completely helpless in someone else's hands. Suddenly, one of them points toward the tree line. Is that the one who's saving us? Everyone follows the gesture, and there stands a man in a black mask, completely at ease, watching everything unfold as if he's enjoying a show. At this moment, I mutter under my breath, "Burst Barrage Resonance." These are built-in skills of the swarm units. The moment they activate, the swarm's combat power surges to another level. The blood aberrant spider, already pushed past its limit, now faces an even more overwhelming swarm. And with nothing left but bitter defiance, it falls beneath the fangs and claws of the swarm. Lily's entire squad watches with their jaws on the floor. They glance between me, calm and unbothered, and the blood aberrant spider still convulsing on the ground. Is this seriously a boss fight? This looks more like farming trash mobs. The whole group swallows hard as they watch me stroll toward the blood aberrant spider's corpse. A pile of loot has already spilled out. I reach down, and a series of notification chimes rings through my mind. I scan the loot list and my eyes lock onto a white skill book. Soul of Greed. When killing a monster, there is a 10% chance to obtain 1 additional random loot drop. Soul of Greed may look unremarkable, but it's an upgradable skill. Each time it's learned again, its quality rises, from common up to excellent, and eventually the proc rate can hit 500%. I nod in satisfaction and turn to leave, when Lily suddenly calls out to me, her voice full of gratitude. "If it weren't for you, we might have." I glance back, say nothing, give a slight nod, and walk away. Back at the Hunters Guild, I step out of the teleportation hall and make my way to the free trading area. My pack is completely full, and I need to offload the gear and skill books. None of this equipment or these skill books are suited to my class. Breaking them down into energy points would be a waste. Selling them for credits is the smarter move. I head straight to an open stall, pull out everything from my pack, and hang up a sign. Gear and skills clearance sale, 1 hour only. A crowd gathers around my stall, pointing and whispering, eyes full of desire and disbelief, but almost no one dares to ask the price. These are notoriously high-grade items, and everyone knows they don't come cheap. Before long, a tall young woman approaches. I recognize her too. It's Yana. She points to a skill book. "How much for the ice spike?" 200,000 credits, I say flatly. Yana frowns. 200,000? That's too much. Can you go any lower? I close my eyes. I don't even bother responding. The market price for ice spike is 180,000, sure, but good luck actually getting one. You'd have to join a guild and build up contribution points just to have a shot at buying it. Faced with my utter indifference, a flicker of annoyance crosses Yana's eyes. But she recovers quickly. "Fine. 200,000. I'll take it." The deal is done, but Yana doesn't leave. Instead, she studies me curiously. "Sovereign, you seem familiar. Have we met before?" I shake my head without hesitation. Good grief. The last thing I need is to get tangled up with this woman again. "Sovereign, you must be incredibly powerful to get your hands on all of this." "I just changed classes. Take me leveling. I'll pay you 200,000 credits per level. The moment those words leave her mouth, everyone nearby holds their breath. That kind of money sends every heart in the vicinity racing. But I give her one flat look and say a single word, no. Yana's brow furrows. In her eyes, this sovereign has decent strength, but far too much attitude. Could he have recognized me? Is this just a way to get my attention? The thought flickers through her mind. She's never been short of admirers. Men have tried all kinds of tactics to get close to her. This approach might be a first, but it's pathetically obvious. Yana lets out a cold huff. She shoots me one last glance, then turns and strides away. A week later, the Jiangnan Third High Sports Field is packed with people. Today is Awakening Day, the single most important moment in this world. A commanding voice booms from the stage. Silence. The principal's voice drops low and steady. I hereby declare the awakening ceremony of Jiangnan Third High begun. As the words fade, students file forward one by one into the awakening altar. My class is called first. Everyone around me is buzzing with nervous energy, waiting anxiously for their name to be called. Only I stand there completely composed. Somewhere in the middle of the line, not a ripple of worry in my mind. Next, Kaiser. Kaiser rushes forward eagerly, stepping up before the robed priest. After a series of ritual motions, colorful light gathers and swirls, slowly taking the shape of a blood-red skeletal warrior, which then dissolves into a dark streak of light that settles onto Kaiser, forming a brand that marks itself onto his forearm. The robed priest glances at it, and the cold expression on his face softens just slightly. He announces in a loud, clear voice, Kaiser, awakened class, blood warrior. The entire school erupts, envy blazes in countless eyes, as people silently wish they could trade places with him. A hidden class, an actual hidden class. Kaiser grins with pride, pleased but not overwhelmed. Because his father purchased this class template for him, he has known exactly what it does for a long time. Basking in the envious and reverent stares of his classmates, Kaiser stands tall and throws a taunting look my way. See that, Muge? That is my class. What could a nobody like you possibly have to compete with me? I glance at him and let out a cold laugh. Looks like you're asking for another slap. Kaiser's mind flashes back to the day I put him on the ground in one move and his rage ignites. Beating me once was pure luck, Muge. At this awakening ceremony, it's destined. You'll be exposed as the worthless nobody who can't even awaken a class. The students nearby watch with gleeful anticipation. No one believes that someone as unremarkable as me could possibly awaken any kind of class. Just then, a voice rings out from the stage. Class 2, senior year, Muge. I step into the awakening altar, and colorful light washes over me. Within the light, a silver, armored warrior takes shape, greatsword in hand. Then the warrior dissolves into a soft streak of light and flows into my body. The next moment, the robed priest looks down at the stone tablet in his hands, nods and says, Muge, awakened class warrior. Kaiser blinks, taken aback, struggling to accept what he just heard. But he recovers quickly and turns a cold sneer on me. A warrior, Muge? Really? That's the most basic class there is. Compared to my blood warrior, you're not even in the same league. I meet his taunting with complete calm. If you're so impressive, how did you end up flat on the ground in front of me? Kaiser lets out a cold laugh. I love that stubborn attitude of yours. Once you step outside the city, don't blame me for being ruthless. Next, Yana. The moment that name is called, every conversation dies. Every head turns in the same direction. Yana steps forward. After the ritual, radiant light gathers. As the robed priest reads the energy flowing from Yana, a flash of shock crosses his face. His cold composure melts into undisguised delight. Yana, awakened class, grand warrior. A rare flicker of excitement breaks through Yana's cool expression. The robed priest pulls out a token and hands it to Yana, whispering something without pause. It sounds like an invitation to join some organization. The moment Yana steps off the altar, a crowd closes in, each person eager to recruit her. Yana shakes her head, expression cool and indifferent, turning down every single invitation, her eyes carrying a quiet edge of pride and coldness. With the awakening ceremony over, the principal steps up to speak again. The awakening ceremony has been completed successfully. For those who did not awaken a class, do not be discouraged. Life offers more than one path. For those who did awaken, focus on preparing for the college entrance examination 3 days from now. Those who perform exceptionally will have their pick of a top practitioner academy. The principal barely finishes when Kaiser spins around and fixes me with a cold smirk. Muge, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the exam dungeon 3 days from now. By then I'll make sure you understand. Some people you just don't cross. I fire back, calm and easy. We'll see when the time comes. Save the trash talk for someone who's impressed. Kaiser narrows his eyes. I hope that mouth of yours is still running strong 3 days from now. With that, Kaiser sweeps away with his crew. 3 days later at the college entrance examination, excitement and nerves are written all over most people's faces. I'm the only one staring at that massive portal, with nothing but calm in my eyes. My level has already reached 6, and in a dungeon where monsters typically range from level 1 to 5, I'm basically an endgame player stomping through a beginner zone. I'm already thinking about which practitioner academy to pick. Just then, the principal's voice rings out across the grounds. The college entrance examination is about to begin. Please prepare yourselves. The exam trial runs on a point system. Every monster you kill inside the Abyss dungeon earns you points. The higher the level and the rarer the monster, the more points you receive. Of course, points earned in a party must be split evenly. Your final point ranking is your exam ranking. A word of warning. The exam carries real risk. If you find yourself in danger, use your teleport scroll immediately to exit. With that, I wish you all the best of luck. The moment the principal finishes, Hundreds of thousands of students file into the portal in orderly class-ranked rows. A flash of light washes over me, and when it fades, I'm standing in the middle of a vast open grassland. Before I can even take in the scenery, a pack of bloodfang boars come charging at me, tusks raised high. I give a casual flick of my hand, and the wide-open grassland is instantly swarming with blade bugs, each one radiating a dark, menacing glow. Right now I command 48 blade bugs, 25 thorn bugs, and 20 brain bugs. This swarm army fixes its collective gaze on the 5 bloodfang boars now surrounded. The blade bugs surge forward, bladed limbs slashing down hard. A soft thud, and the bloodfang boar in front crumples to the ground, dead before it hits the dirt. After one-shotting a few bloodfang boars, I let out a bored click of my tongue. My level is just too high. The experience from these low-level monsters is a fraction of what it used to be. At least the points are still worth something. I glance at the token in my hand. It reads, Examine Muge, score 210. I'm well ahead, but I can't afford to get sloppy. Looking at the size of my swarm, I realize it's still too small. With 1,570 energy points remaining, I know it's time to unlock Tier 2 units. 1,000 energy points vanish in an instant, and above the Tier 1 swarm, a set of new cards sharpens into view. Winged Wasp, Aerial Unit, Flame Crawler, Ranged Magic Unit, Ironclad Blade Bug, Advanced Blade Bug Unit. I issue the order, breed 1 Winged Wasp, 1 Flame Crawler, and 1 Ironclad Blade Bug. 3 new units materialize on the field in an instant. The Winged Wasp is a bee standing nearly as tall as a person, its body a deep, vivid blue, its wings blazing like open flames, a sight that is genuinely terrifying. The Ironclad Blade Bug is a larger, upgraded version of the standard Blade Bug, with double the speed and double the strength across the board. The Flame Crawler is a massive worm, roughly 3 meters long and 1 meter tall. I point at a boulder just over a meter high, and order the Flame Crawler to fire. Without a moment's hesitation, it opens wide and blasts out a torrent of flame. A thunderous boom, and the boulder in front of me shatters into rubble scattered all across the ground. I give a satisfied nod, then convert all my remaining energy points into Flame Crawlers. 3 more appear instantly. I give the command, all swarm units hunt freely. The moment the order lands, the entire swarm scatters in every direction, each unit out seeking prey. Before long, a steady stream of notification chimes begins ringing through my mind. I glance up at the sky, stretch lazily, and realize it's already nearly evening. Time flies when you're busy. I dig a tent out of my pack, pull out some food I'd prepared in advance, and dig in. Once I finish eating, I crawl straight into the tent and fall into a deep, easy sleep. Not like someone sitting a high-stakes national exam, but like someone out on a weekend camping trip. The next morning, I stretch, recall all my swarm units, pull out my flowing flame sword, and set off in one direction, thinking to myself, that thing should be showing up any day now. After walking for a bit, a bloodfang boar suddenly lets out a roar and comes barreling straight at me. I raise my hand, a flame ray as thick as a bowl tears through the air, and one-shots a level 5 bloodfang boar clean. I'm about to step forward and loot it when a commotion erupts in the distance. Curious, I move quietly toward the noise, slip into a cluster of trees, and peer out. 2 groups stand locked in a tense standoff. A woman in heavy armor, striking in appearance, snaps, Leo, that is way too greedy. We both took down that gilded brute bull boss together. What gives you the right to pocket that rare gear all by yourself? Leo lets out a loud laugh. Holly, aren't you being a little naive? Look at how few people you have from Jiangnan 3rd High. And look at how many we have from Jiangnan 1st High. More people means a bigger share. You can't even figure that out? This crystal bracer is mine. His crew behind him all laugh along, shooting Holly's team cold, cutting looks. Seeing things go south, Holly has no choice but to back down. Fine, I'll give up my share, but the rest of the gear belongs to my teammates. Surely you'll at least give them that? Leo flashes a sly grin. Sure, gear can be arranged. Holly, all you have to do is spend one night with me after the trial. How does that sound? Holly's face flushes with fury. I can let my share go, but why are you after my teammates' gear too? Is this really how Jiangnan 1st High operates? Leo laughs louder. Holly, have you been living in a bubble? Do you not know how the real world works? Among practitioners, there is no such thing as fairness. Whoever hits the hardest makes the rules. Since you're not leaving on your own, then don't. Just hand over all your points before you go. The words are barely out before the dozen-plus members of Jiangnan 1st High launch their attack. Fireballs, ice spikes, and brutal charging strikes slam into the Jiangnan 3rd High group. Leo roars, take this, and lunges at Holly, greatsword sweeping wide. The killing intent behind it is almost suffocating. Facing the savage strike, Holly's face goes pale and she triggers her skill, Shield Barrier. A white force field flares up around her and barely holds against Leo's blow. Even from a distance you can see the strain. That skill burned through a lot. Activating it again will not be easy. Leo smirks with satisfaction. Not bad, Holly. You awakened a hidden class, sure, but the Holy Light Knight is the weakest attacker of the bunch. Running into me is really your bad luck. I suggest you surrender now and hand over your points. Holly bites down on her lip, raises her sword, and drives Leo back. We're both level 3. This fight is far from decided. Come on. With that, she takes the fight to him. Leo lets out a cold laugh and charges back with his greatsword. The two clash in close quarters, but it is clear Holly is losing ground. After just a few exchanges, the cracks are already starting to show. Her teammates from Jiangnan 3rd High are in no better shape. They haven't been eliminated yet, but up against a group several times their size, it is only a matter of time. Are they really going to get knocked out of the exam with 0 points? Despair begins to set in for more than a few of them. Then Leo drops his voice to a growl. Heavy cleave! A thread of white light blooms across his body, coiling around the greatsword, and he brings it crashing down at Holly. She feels the shockwave of raw force bearing down. Her face drains of color, and her heart seizes with dread. Her mana is completely gone, and even shield barrier is still on cooldown. If this blow lands, she'll be lucky to escape without critical injuries. Leo bares his teeth, a savage, bloodthirsty gleam in his eyes. This is what you get for defying me. The moment he's sure his strike is going to connect, a streak of red light cuts through the air and lands dead center on his greatsword, knocking him flat on the ground. Leo is stunned. He cannot believe his heavy cleave was just interrupted. Did Hubert from Jiangnan First High show up, or Yana from Third High? He snaps his head around, unsettled to see who attacked, and gets a surprise. The one who fired that blast and knocked him back is neither Hubert nor Yana, but a young man with clean, almost delicate features. Leo's voice goes cold. Who are you? Why are you sticking your nose in this? I answer with 4 flat words, none of your business. Leo's temper ignites. He considers himself second only to Yana and Hubert among the entire younger generation in Jiangnan City. And this nobody in front of him has the nerve to talk like that. He lets out a sharp snort. Whoever you are, you jumped in. Don't blame me for taking you down with her. Leo channels his power and bellows, cross slash. I stand perfectly still, watching the greatsword sweep toward me, not moving an inch, a hint of contempt playing at the corner of my eyes. Meanwhile, Holly, who has been watching all of this with her jaw on the floor, can't hold back any longer. Watch out, move. Just as everyone is certain I'm about to die, I activate Void Step. A strange ripple swallows my silhouette, and then I simply vanish from the air. Leo's attack cuts through empty space. The next instant, I reappear 10 meters away. Leo stares baffled. You're a mage. Since when do mages know a rogue's blink? I give a light smile. Don't overthink it. How about you just hand over your points? I let a burst of red energy gather in my palm, and a moment later send it blazing outward. Leo raises his shield without hesitation and activates his skill. Dark light floods into the shield, making it look dense and almost indestructible. But the fireball slams into Leo's shield and sends him flying. Leo spits blood, face twisted with disbelief. You're a mage. Fine, maybe you know blink too. But why is your fireball hitting this hard and cooling down this fast? That should be impossible. Leo hauls himself back to his feet, yanks out 2 life potions, and drains them both on the spot, his eyes locked on me, dripping with venom. I don't care who you are. You're clearly strong, but you're alone, you're dead. Everyone from Jiangnan First High, listen up. Leo barks, hit this guy with everything you've got, take him down. The Jiangnan First High members exchange reluctant looks. Fighting in the trial zone isn't against the rules, but killing someone is another matter entirely. Otherwise, half the examinees would be dead by the end of every year. What are you scared of? Fights break out in the exam all the time. Accidents happen, that's normal. My family is House Li of Jiangnan City. Do you really think killing one person is going to be a problem? Whoever takes this guy down, I'll hand over a Lenya breastplate as a reward. The moment the words leave Leo's mouth, greed flickers to life in more than a few eyes. The looks directed at me shift. The caution drains away, replaced by something sharper, killing intent. The dozen-plus people on the field finally cave to temptation and rush me all at once. Holly shouts out, "Run, we'll cover you. They outnumber us, but Jiangnan Third High has enough people to hold back their attacks. We can buy you time." I give a quiet smile. If they want my life, they're going to have to actually earn it first. That sends Leo's temper past the breaking point. He swings his shield up and roars at his crew. All of you, go. No holding back. With Leo's order, the Jiangnan First High crew crashes toward me like a wave. I draw a slow breath, hands moving fast through a series of seals, and in an instant a massive ball of flame takes shape in front of me, then erupts outward, swallowing the attackers charging in. The ones at the front are consumed by fire before they can even react. The rest skid to a stop, fear written all over their faces. Someone cries out in panic, "This guy isn't human." Leo's chest tightens. He knows that if he doesn't act now, his entire crew is going to be picked off one by one. He shouts to rally them, "Don't be afraid, keep pushing, we have the numbers." I can't help but smile at that. A single flick of my finger, one beam of flame, aimed straight at the warrior leading the charge. The warrior lets out a cry and drops to the ground, critically wounded. While everyone stands there wide-eyed, I fire off several more beams in quick succession, each one finding its mark, dropping every last one of the Jiangnan First High attackers to the ground. Watching it all unfold, even Leo, hiding at the back, is left completely dumbstruck. Does this guy have no cooldowns? No mana cost? Leo swallows hard and stammers out, whoever you are, you can't touch me. I'm the firstborn son of House Li of Jiangnan City. If you dare lay a hand on me, my family will hunt you down. If you're smart, you'll let me walk. Otherwise, he never gets to finish. My figure vanishes from the air without warning, and an instant later I'm standing right behind him. One punch, full force. Leo's vision whites out. A searing pain explodes through his back, and then everything goes dark as he crumples to the ground, out cold. I look down at Leo and let out a quiet, cold laugh. I hate being threatened more than anything. With every enemy down, Holly steps forward, gratitude filling her voice. "Thank you so much for stepping in. My name is Holly Mo. I lead this team. May I ask your name? We'd like to repay you properly someday." I didn't step in to play the hero. That's not what this was about. If my memory serves, Holly's class is the Holy Light Knight, a support type, and it is precisely because of her class that the trial zone's final boss, The Frost Colossus will be drawn here. According to certain inside information, killing the Frost Colossus with the flowing flame sword is supposed to guarantee a legendary tier item drop, though whether that's actually true remains to be seen. Turning over everything I remember from my past life, I say calmly, actually I didn't come here to rescue you. I came because I need a favor from you. Holly blinks in surprise. A favor? You just saved my life. Whatever you need, I won't say no, though I am curious, what exactly do you need? I get straight to the point, nothing complicated. I just want to join your team and hunt alongside you, that's all. Holly looks genuinely confused by this. A small frown crosses her face. Someone at my level, any other team would pay heavily to recruit me. Yet here I am, after saving her, asking to join her team instead. Despite all her questions, she looks at my calm, unhurried expression, and nods. Then welcome aboard. I add, my name is Muge. Holly gives a firm nod. Welcome, Muge. I finally let myself relax. Now all I have to do is wait for the Frost Colossus to come for Holly. Day 4 of the national exam. A massive ridgeback bull lies sprawled in the sun, lazily soaking up the warmth. It couldn't look more at ease. But just as it's about to doze off, everything changes. An ice spike shoots out of nowhere, slamming into its body, a sharp, piercing pain that jolts it wide awake. The ridgeback bull explodes with fury, lurches to its feet and lets out a thunderous roar, charging straight toward where the spike came from. But before it gets more than a few steps, a burst of flame engulfs it completely, and the next instant, it's dead. From a short distance away, cheers break out. Another level 5 beast down. Muge, you're incredible. A group of them turns to look at me with open admiration. Over the past 2 days, I've led this team across the field hunting beasts, pushing everyone's score past 800 points, more than enough to earn each of them, a result they never would have dared dream of before. I wave them off, go grab the loot. One of the guys on the team responds immediately, and heads over to the ridgeback bull to collect the drops. Before long he comes back beaming, arms full of silver tier gear. I have zero interest in any of it. Split it however you like, I say, and leave it at that. Then I turn my attention to the surroundings, scanning carefully. After a long moment, I let out a sigh. 2 full days have passed, and the Frost Colossus still hasn't shown. Did I get the details wrong, or was that tip deliberately planted as misinformation? I'm a little frustrated, though I haven't spared a single thought from my own exam score. With the swarm behind me, my points will bury everyone else's. What I care about is whether the rumor about that legendary drop is actually real. Lost in thought, I catch a faint, pleasant scent, and Holly appears from behind me, a faint blush on her cheeks. Muge, you've been staring in that direction for a while. Is a beast approaching? I shake my head. No, just thinking. Holly is about to ask more, when the ground beneath us suddenly begins to shake. A deep, eerie hum rolls in from the distance, accompanied by a strange pressure that makes the very air feel like it's trembling. Then, without warning, the temperature starts to drop, and snowflakes begin drifting down. Everyone looks around in confusion, unsure what to do, except me. My expression lights up. I murmur to myself, there it is. Finally. Holly's eyes go wide. Muge, what's happening? It's probably the trial zone boss, I say, and I can't quite hide the excitement in my voice. Holly stares. There's actually a boss in the trial zone? Of course. Every Abyss dungeon has a boss. The conditions to trigger this one are just more demanding than usual. More demanding how? She asks. First, someone in the trial zone needs to break 10,000 points. Second, there needs to be a practitioner whose class is Holy Light Knight. Only when both conditions are met will the level 10 boss, the Frost Colossus, appear. Holly's hand flies to her mouth, her whole body trembling slightly. You can't be serious. How can there be a level 10 boss in the trial zone? This trial zone was built by Dragon Nation's top-ranked war gods, a man-made Abyss dungeon created together, specifically designed for examinees, with tailored difficulty and controlled monsters. It's not supposed to be this dangerous, and most examinees are only level 1 to 3. A level 10 boss is an insurmountable wall for practically every person here. I let out a cold laugh. This trial zone was modeled after the Imperial Plains dungeon, copied using some kind of special skill that imprints the original dungeon as a replica. I'd bet even the war gods who built it have no idea a boss was carried over in the process. Holly stares at me with fresh curiosity. Muge, you seem to know an awful lot about all this. How? Don't worry about that. All you need to do is stay back and watch. I smile, give my wrist a flick, and the flowing flame sword settles into my grip. Seeing me take a battle stance, Holly's eyes fill with alarm. What? You're going to fight the boss yourself? Muge, are you out of your mind? While they're still reeling in disbelief, the Frost Colossus finally reveals itself. A stone giant standing nearly 10 meters tall, bursts up from the ground, and the temperature plunges another several degrees in an instant. At the first sight of the Frost Colossus, everyone's breath catches. A level 10 tier 3 boss, even more powerful than a standard level 15. The shock gives way to fear, and everyone grabs their weapons and braces themselves. I'm the only one walking calmly toward it. Without a moment's hesitation, I raise my hand and fire off a flame blast. The flame ray strikes the Colossus, and it actually pauses, as if startled, then erupts in fury with a thunderous roar, and unleashes a relentless assault straight at me. The runes etched across the Frost Colossus's body blaze to life, pulling all the moisture in the air into a raging blizzard, and then a downpour of ice spikes rains down from above, as if trying to shred everything beneath them. Holly reacts instantly. Everyone fall back! They scramble back several hundred meters before she risks a look in my direction. What she sees me weaving through the falling ice spikes like a seasoned rogue, firing off bursts of flame at steady intervals, steadily pushing the Frost Colossus back. Bright red damage numbers bloom across the Frost Colossus's body one after another. The numbers aren't massive, but to something like the Frost Colossus, it's deeply humiliating. Despite its enormous size, the Frost Colossus is anything but slow. It moves with an unsettling, almost unnatural speed. Its fist crashes down like a thunderclap aimed straight at my head, but the next instant, I've already dissolved and reappeared in the air, 10 meters away, pressing the attack without pause. The commotion draws attention fast. Before long, Yana and Hubert arrive at the same time. The moment they see the Frost Colossus's stats, both their eyes light up. A level 10 tier 3 boss. If we take this boss down, we'll absolutely top the rankings in Jiangnan City this year. As if reading their thoughts, a calm voice drifts over. I'd suggest you both step away. This boss is a lot harder than it looks. One hit and you'll be critically injured. Leave now if you value your lives. Far from cooling their fighting spirit, those words just earn a dismissive snort from Hubert. Please, you're a basic warrior class and you're holding your own against the Frost Colossus? I have a rare hidden class. You really think I'd fall short of you? Don't make me laugh. Yana says nothing, but the look in her eyes is dismissive. She clearly isn't taking my warning seriously either. Hubert laughs out loud. Yana, how about a little competition? Whoever lands the killing blow on the Frost Colossus, let's see who comes out on top. Yana smiles lightly. As you wish. With that, they both charge straight at the Frost Colossus. Multiple strikes land on the Colossus, and two tiny damage numbers drift up. Both of them freeze. Hubert is stunned, completely unable to accept it. How is our damage this low? That's impossible. Two new intruders have joined the fight. The Frost Colossus roars, and a volley of ice spikes crystallizes mid-air and hurtles toward them both. Hubert and Yana's faces go pale, and they scramble to activate their defensive skills. But the damage output of a level 10 boss is simply beyond what they can withstand. Both are sent crashing down, critically injured, barely holding on to consciousness as they hit the ground. Hubert screams through gritted teeth, eyes blazing red. This can't be right. That Muge guy was dodging everything with ease, and he's just a warrior. Why can't I do the same? Yana turns to look at me, a complicated expression crossing her face. Did I misjudge him? Could it be that Muge, even as a warrior, actually has real talent? But she shakes the thought away almost immediately. No, that doesn't make sense. If he awakened a common class, his ceiling is fixed. He probably triggered some kind of buff, or just got lucky. That's the only explanation for how he's lasted this long against the Frost Colossus. From a distance, I move like a hunting leopard, weaving through every attack the Frost Colossus throws at me, blinking across the field with void step, while launching a steady stream of flame blasts, hammering into the Frost Colossus. Under the relentless barrage, the Frost Colossus's health finally drops to half. At this rate, the last of its health will be gone before long. But I feel no relief, because I know a tier 3 boss doesn't go down without more tricks up its sleeve. Sure enough, just a few minutes later, the Frost Colossus seems to reach its limit. It lets out a thunderous roar and steps back, and ring after ring of deep blue light pulses outward from its body. Holly and the others cry out in alarm. No, it's charging its ultimate skill. Watching the Frost Colossus wind up, I feel no fear. If anything, I feel a spark of excitement. The deep blue rings spread outward roughly 700 to 800 meters, then snap into ice spikes all at once, raining down from every direction, piling up and locking together into a massive frost cage, enclosing both me and the Frost Colossus inside. Just as the intel from my past life described, the Frost Colossus has real intelligence. It knows how to split the battlefield, cutting off my escape routes to trap me, but this is exactly what I wanted. The frost cage seals me in, and at the same time it blocks all outside eyes from seeing what happens next, which means I can cut loose without holding anything back. I let out a low command, and the entire swarm floods into the frost cage. 17 flame crawlers, 48 blade bugs, 25 thorn bugs, 20 brain bugs. Every single unit locks its gaze on the Frost Colossus, eyes burning with the hunger to kill. The Frost Colossus roars, swings its massive fist, and charges straight at me again. I let out a cold snort, stand my ground and sweep my hand toward the Colossus. A fireball 2 meters across tears through the air, followed by more than a dozen flame rays, all of it pouring into the Frost Colossus at once. A blinding flash, and when I look again, the towering figure of the Frost Colossus has crumbled into a heap of rubble, gone, leaving nothing behind but loot scattered across the ground. A smile crosses my face. One shot, one kill. Before I can even enjoy the moment, something shifts around me and snaps me back to attention. The ice walls of the frost cage, now that the Colossus is dead, begin to melt. Without hesitating, I recall every swarm unit into my sovereign's space, and just like that, I'm the only one standing in the arena. In an instant, every pair of eyes in the area turns toward me, all of them wide, all of them stunned. Holly claps a hand over her mouth, her eyes wide with disbelief, breath coming faster than before. Hubert and Yana stare at me. Beyond the shock in their eyes, there is now a trace of envy and confusion. I feel every complicated gaze land on me, and I couldn't care less. I walk straight forward and check the loot the Frost Colossus left behind. The haul is staggering, as you'd expect from a tier 3 boss, and several items glow with a faint, unmistakable light, pulling everyone's gaze like a magnet. Rare blue tier gear is scattered everywhere, and more than a few sets of eyes fill with greed at the sight. But when I scan all this blue tier gear, I can't hide my disappointment. Wasn't the whole point that killing the Frost Colossus with the flowing flame sword guarantees a legendary drop? Where is it? I search through the scattered loot, and then, buried among all the blue glow, a glint of gold catches my eye. Heart jumping, I walk over, and pick up a small ring. Ring quality legendary. Effect 1, equipping this ring allows the user to learn skills from any class. Effect 2, mastery. All skills gain +2 levels upon equipping. The moment I read those effects, I can't help but break into a grin, and I slip it onto my finger without a second thought. When I pull up my stats panel again, I find that the Soul of Greed class template has also leveled up. Soul of Greed. When looting a kill, there is a 50% chance to receive an additional random drop. I lift my head and sweep my gaze across the crowd, and say with a cold smile, if anyone wants to try taking this loot, now's your chance, otherwise all of it. I'm taking every last piece. A visible shudder runs through the crowd. People drop their gazes one by one, suddenly finding somewhere else to look. But then someone shoves through the crowd and plants themselves in front of me, radiating hostility. With a grin dripping with arrogance, "Ha, so it's you, Muge. Funny how fate keeps throwing us together." Leading the group is Kaiser, one hand wrapped around a strangely shaped broadsword, looking at me with contempt, like he's already watching a dead man stand. I open my mouth, a flicker of killing intent crossing my eyes. "So you actually tracked me down here." Several onlookers recognize him immediately. "Wait, isn't that Kaiser? He's the only son of House Huang in Jiangnan City. How did Muge manage to get on his bad side? This is going to be good." The murmuring crowd feeds Kaiser's ego perfectly. He can't help but grin. "Muge, I'll give you one chance. Get on your knees, bow your head to me twice, and I'll let you walk away with your life." I say, calm as ever, "I'll give you the same offer. Get on your knees, bow your head, and admit what you did, and I might just spare yours." Kaiser explodes. He never imagined I'd throw his own words back at him like this. He's just about to make his move, when a soft melodic voice comes from behind him. "Kaiser, would you consider letting him go, as a favor to me?" Kaiser turns, and his expression hardens, a flicker of wariness entering his eyes. "Yana, you're vouching for him?" Yana answers coolly, "Muge is still useful to me. Since it's you asking, I'll give you that much. But remember, next time I run into him, your name won't save him." With that, Kaiser turns and walks away with his crew. I watched the whole exchange, slightly puzzled, but mostly just amused. If Yana hadn't stepped in, Kaiser would be lying on the ground right now. But if she did it, she has a reason. Sure enough, the moment Kaiser's figure disappears from view, Yana turns to face me, voice flat and direct. "Muge, how many bloodbind pills do you have left? House Lu will take them all. Name your price." The moment those two words leave her mouth, bloodbind pill, the expressions of everyone on the field shift, then settle into sudden understanding. The bloodbind pill is an extremely rare consumable. Once taken, it temporarily grants a practitioner below level 10 the attributes of 10 full levels above their current rank, along with access to all basic class skills. So that's why Muge was so strong. He took a bloodbind pill. That explains it. Nobody just shows up out of nowhere and solo kills a boss that Yana and Hubert couldn't even scratch. In an instant, the people who had been looking at me with awe and admiration feel something else rise in their chests. Disgust and contempt. After all, the bloodbind pill's effects may be extraordinary, but its side effects are just as severe. I look at Yana, and I can't help but find this a little funny. "You really think I used a bloodbind pill to kill the Frost Colossus?" Yana's expression stays cold. "If you didn't take a bloodbind pill, how could a warrior like you be this strong? Even I couldn't take a single hit from the Frost Colossus. And frankly, even if you burned a bloodbind pill for that burst of power, all you've done is stunt your own growth. Your level will be capped from here on out. You must have gotten more than one bloodbind pill though. House Lu has serious need of them. Hand them over to me, and I'll let you join House Lu as a personal guard. What do you say?" Those around couldn't help but sigh in admiration. Holy cow, this is something countless people would kill for. Muge, that lucky dog. Just how blessed can one guy get? Countless pairs of envious eyes turn toward me, as if I just stumbled upon the deal of a lifetime. Just as everyone expects me to jump at the offer with pure delight, I smile faintly and say, "I decline." Yana hears those two words and can't help furrowing her delicate brows, a flicker of displeasure crossing her face. "Muge, think carefully. This time I can shield you from Kaiser, but next time, don't expect me to step in. If there's nothing else, I'll be on my way. Do as you please." I let out a soft laugh, step around Yana, and walk away without giving her so much as a second glance. Watching my retreating figure, Yana shakes her head. "Damn you, Muge. I've done everything I could. Since you won't be moved by kindness or pressure, you're on your own." With that, Yana quietly slips away, and I, facing the scorn and open hostility from those around me, walk straight up to Holly and hand her a piece of equipment. "This gear suits you well. Think of it as my thanks." Holly hesitates before taking it, and her expression immediately stiffens. Name, Wolf Soul Boots. Quality, rare. Special effect increases movement speed by 5% when equipped, and this effect can stack up to 5 times. The base stats are modest enough, but that special effect is utterly broken. Holly hurriedly tries to push it back. "Muge, this is way too valuable. I can't accept this." But I just wave it off. "Keep it." Luring out the Frost Colossus was no small feat. "This gear is the least you deserve." After pocketing the boots, Holly says with a strange look, "Hey, have you noticed the way people are staring at us?" I scan the area. Hostile glares surround us from every direction. I can't help but smirk. They want to move against me, but they don't quite have the guts. "Forget it." Holly furrows her brow, only half understanding the situation. Let's just go. With this many eyes on us, it's uncomfortable staying here. I'm not afraid of them, but why stir up trouble needlessly? I give a nod. Agreed. For the next few days, let's grind somewhere less crowded. Holly nods in agreement, just as the two of us are about to head off in a different direction. Out of nowhere, a scarred-faced teammate steps forward and says in a cold voice, "Captain, with all due respect, I don't think Muge belongs in this team." Holly freezes, surprise and displeasure flashing across her face. Ray, say what you mean. What exactly are you getting at? Ray sneers. What do I mean? I've been perfectly clear. Muge took a bloodbind pill. His power is going to crash soon. Why should a soon-to-be deadweight stay on our team? Holly flushes red with anger and fires back. Ray, how can you be so ungrateful? If Muge hadn't been carrying us through levels these past few days, how would any of us have gained this many skills? Ray curls his lip dismissively. So what if he helped us kill a few beasts? That wasn't his real power. It was all the bloodbind pill talking. And by my estimate, he'll lose that power any moment now. When that happens, he's nothing but dead weight. As vice captain, I will not allow anyone to put this team at risk. Muge has to go. Of course, there is one way he stays. He hands over every drop of loot from the Frost Colossus and splits it equally among us. Holly snaps, "That's enough, Ray. Those spoils belong to Muge alone. None of us had any part in it. Don't you dare reach for what isn't yours." But Ray waves her off with contempt. "Captain, you may be our captain, but surely you can't just steamroll over every single member of this team." Holly goes still at those words, her eyes drifting to the teammates behind Ray, and there they are. The moment Holly's gaze meets theirs, one by one they bow their heads saying nothing. It's clear they all stand with Ray. Seeing this, Holly trembles with fury, words failing her. Ray says coldly, "Captain, let me make one thing clear. If you insist on standing up for Muge, you may find that nobody in this team listens to you anymore." A look of helpless fury crosses Holly's face. She lets out a long sigh, shoots a glance at me, still utterly calm beside her, then grits her teeth. "Fine, you want Muge gone? Then I'm leaving too. I want to see just what kind of results you get leading this crew on your own, Ray." Holly turns on her heel, grabs my arm and storms off. I don't bother saying a word. I turn and follow her without a second thought. Watching them go, someone says uneasily, "What do we do now?" Without Muge and Holly, we barely stand a chance against the beasts on our own. At least Muge banked enough points for us over the past few days. Even if we do nothing from here on out, we'll still walk away with solid scores when the exam ends. On the other side of the forest, after getting kicked out, I settle in under a tree with Holly and break out a hot pot, looking every bit as relaxed and at ease as someone on a leisurely vacation. Suddenly I look up, my expression turning serious as I fix my gaze in one direction. "What's wrong? What is it?" I shake my head. "Nothing major. There's a group heading our way, quite a few of them. Stay here. I'll go check it out." With that, I summon a winged wasp, raise my arm and let it carry me silently up into the sky, gliding toward the other end of the forest without a sound. Elsewhere, Kaiser has followed a tip and tracked down a nest of iron skin boars. He mutters to himself, "Take out these iron skin boars and my score breaks 1,000. After that, every top university in the country is mine to choose." What a shame. I never expected Yana to shield that Muge guy. No matter. I'll deal with it once we're back in the real world. I'll just hire a few pros to take care of him. With that thought, Kaiser feels much better. He waves his hand, take a few men and scout ahead. Several men immediately answer and push into the forest, but after a long while, not one of the scouts returns. These were 5 of his most trusted men, each of them at level 5, capable of holding their own against a level 6 beast. If they fought together, a chilling thought rises in Kaiser's mind. Could there be a beast above level 10 lurking here? Before he can think it through, a low laugh drifts out from the trees. Well, didn't expect to run into you here." Kaiser looks up to see a figure standing atop a towering tree, gazing down at his entire group. At the sight of him, Kaiser's face goes pale. "Muge, how are you here?" I smile calmly. "I didn't expect to find you here either. Funny how fate works." Kaiser recovers quickly from the shock, a vicious grin spreading across his face. "Looks like you've walked right into a trap. Last time Yana was there to save you. This time no one's coming." He raises his hand in a sweeping motion. "Everyone, lock your target on Muge. Take him down, no mercy." A sharp unified reply rises from behind him. "Yes." 3 mages in the group strike first, sending 2 fireballs and a flame ray hurtling toward me at full speed. I let out a quiet laugh, flick my wrist, and a blue-winged wasp nearly 2 meters long drops from above, carrying me effortlessly out of the path of all 3 attacks. The crowd erupts in shock. What is that? A contracted beast or a mount? Kaiser grits his teeth and roars, "Muge, what kind of coward hides in the sky? If you're any kind of man, come down and face us." I scoff. "Face you head on? You think you're worth it? Why is everyone stopped? If none of you are going to attack, then don't blame me for what comes next." I call out in a low, sharp voice, "Flame impact." Streaks of blazing light rain down from above, scorching and deadly, aimed straight at the crowd below. Alarm bells explode inside Kaiser's mind. A layer of dark energy flares up across his body as he frantically pulls a small shield from his pack to block the blow, but the flames come crashing down like bombs, rocking the ground with one explosion after another. The people below barely put up any resistance. Before collapsing, gravely wounded, Kaiser stares at the devastation around him, completely stunned. Impossible. This is absolutely impossible. A bloodbind pill only lasts 2 hours. The effect should have worn off long ago. How are you still this powerful? I reply evenly. I never once admitted to using a bloodbind pill. That was your assumption, not mine. I let a slow smile cross my face. Kaiser, it's time to settle the score between us. I had no intention of killing you, but then you tried to have me put down for good. So really you brought this on yourself. Kaiser screams, Muge, you can't kill me. I am the eldest son of House Huang. If you kill me, my father will hunt you down. What do you want? Credits? Gear? I'll give you anything, just don't kill me. I walk up to him as if I heard nothing, no begging, no threats, and drive the flowing flame sword straight through. Kaiser stares at me with wide, disbelieving eyes, stunned that I actually went through with it. Then he crashes to the ground. I make my way back into the forest, and Holly rushes over immediately. What happened, Muge? What's going on? I shake my head. Nothing much, just took care of a small problem with Kaiser. At the name, Holly's heart skips a beat. Did you hurt him? He's not someone you want to mess with. I've heard House Huang has a level 30 practitioner, and no one who's crossed the Huang family has ever come out well. I smile lightly. Hurt him? No. I killed him. Holly's eyes go wide. You killed him? This is serious trouble. I say lazily, House Huang is nothing worth worrying about. As the countdown hits 0, everyone steps out through the portal. By the final count, 29 examinees lost their lives in Jiangnan City alone, with countless more injured. Once everyone is gathered, the prominent figures of Jiangnan City reappear on the school grounds. The principals of all 3 high schools stand together on the platform, every pair of eyes locked onto a massive stone monument at the center of the plaza. This monument displays the final score rankings. Soon, lines of text slowly appear on its surface. First place, Muge. Final score 24,789. Second place, Holly Mo. Final score 2,272. Third place, Hubert Lee. Final score 1,374. Fourth place, Yana. Final score 1,272. The golden numbers gleaming at the top of the board plunge the entire plaza into dead silence. Disbelief fills every face. Am I reading this right? Over 24,000 points? Did that Muge guy cheat? Surely not. In the crowd, Yana and Hubert stand in separate corners, both wearing the same look of shock and confusion. I didn't even make the top 3. How could Muge possibly score that high? Yana seethes, biting down hard. Didn't Muge use a bloodbind pill? Why does his score still count? This is outrageous. Not far away, Ray stands dumbfounded. Didn't Muge lose his fighting power? How in the world did he rack up this many points? And Holly, just by sticking with him, she ends up in second place. Damn it. If I hadn't kicked them out, my score would have jumped up by a mile. Up on the platform, the city's prominent figures are equally stunned. Didn't Muge take a bloodbind pill? By all logic, his score shouldn't even count. Could it be that he never used one at all? A composed man speaks up. If that's the case, then Muge defeated the Frost Colossus entirely on his own strength, and earned over 20,000 points on top of it? The words barely land before someone pushes back. Impossible. He must have used some other similar item. They're rare, sure, but there are plenty of them out there. Jiangnan Third High's principal James Wang lets a quiet flicker of relief and satisfaction cross his eyes, and says calmly, regardless, let's wrap up the exam first. The 3 principals move in unison onto the platform, pulling out prepared speeches and beginning their addresses. Holly beams with a warm smile. Muge, congratulations on becoming this year's top exam scorer. I shrug. Top scorer? Doesn't matter much to me. Holly laughs softly. Still, I have to thank you for taking me along to level up. Without you, there's no way I would have reached 2,000 points. I chuckle. And you gave me a place to stay, didn't you? We both got what we needed. Holly's tone turns serious. By the way, watch yourself. House Huang has probably already heard the news, and they move fast. I smile casually. You should be careful too. Plenty of people saw us together. Holly shakes her head. No matter how powerful House Huang is, they wouldn't dare make a move on me so easily. If they did, it would mean all-out war between our families. While the 2 of us are still talking, a composed voice comes from behind. Muge, the principals would like to see you. Please follow me. I frown. They need something from me? Holly finds it a bit odd too, but tries to reassure me. Maybe they just want to congratulate you. After all, you're Jiangnan City's top scorer, and you might just be first in the entire country. Inwardly, I scoff. If this were about congratulations, they would have mentioned me during the speeches, not sent someone to fetch me afterward. Something else is going on here, and it's nothing good. My expression stays neutral. I simply say, if the principals are calling for me, then I'll go. I turn to Holly. I'll head out first. I'll be at your place shortly. With that, I follow the man and walk away. Before long, I'm shown into a modest-sized room. Inside, over a dozen finely dressed individuals, all turn to look at me at once. Their expressions a mix of curiosity, contempt, cold amusement, and faint pity. But greed is by far the most common look in the room. It's as if I'm not a person at all, but a choice cut of meat on the table. I walk calmly to the center of the room, sweep my gaze around, and speak clearly. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Muge. What can I do for you? The principal of First High, Richard Yang, rises from his seat and looks down at me. Muge, first, congratulations on topping the scores in Jiangnan City. We've also reviewed footage of your performance in the exam, and we're very interested in the gold-tier transcendent grade equipment you obtained from defeating the Frost Colossus. Name your price. We intend to buy it. Richard's tone leaves no room for refusal. Less a request, more a command. I say evenly, I do have a piece of transcendent grade equipment, yes. Then, with a casual flick of my wrist, a necklace materializes in my palm. Every eye in the room locks onto it instantly. It really is transcendent grade. Richard's eyes light up with excitement as he rubs his hands together, his face flushing with barely contained anticipation. The passive on this necklace is incredible, a 10% boost to all skills. It would double the trigger rate of my core passive skill, Bloody Roar. Watching the hungry excitement spread across every face, I smirk inwardly. So that's why they suddenly summoned me. They want what I have. Too bad for them. Getting their hands on my gear won't be so simple. I smile coldly. You've seen the equipment, I do have it, but I'm not selling. The room freezes the moment those words land. In an instant, the greed in their eyes hardens into cold shock, and they look at me with a barely concealed edge of killing intent. A flash of cold intent crosses Richard's eyes. He says in a low, firm voice, Muge, what are you playing at? Afraid we can't afford it? Name a price, anything within our means, and we won't refuse. I laugh coldly. A top-tier piece of transcendent-grade equipment like this rivals some perfect-grade items in value. Can you people even afford that? Of course, if you can produce a genuine perfect-grade equipment, or put up 200 million credits, then maybe we have something to talk about. Before my words even settle, a large man barks, Muge, you're out of line. His energy surges as he strides toward me. Feeling the pressure of his aura, I simply smirk. I send a silent command. Inside my void realm, hundreds of the swarm let out a unified screech. I direct that mental force straight into the man's eyes. It hits him like a sledgehammer to the skull. When he comes back to his senses, cold sweat is pouring from every inch of his body, and he stumbles back several steps. The others stare at him in confusion. What's wrong, Rocky? Rocky wipes the sweat from his forehead and shakes his head awkwardly. Nothing. Carry on. The others exchange a puzzled glance but let the moment pass. Then Richard cuts straight to it. Your transcendent-grade equipment is remarkable, no doubt, but transcendent-grade equipment typically sells for under 10 million credits. Muge, come up with something more reasonable. I spread my hands with a grin. I gave you a price, sir. If you can't match it, that's hardly my problem, is it? Richard narrows his eyes and says coldly, Muge, the price itself isn't necessarily out of reach. Transfer the equipment to us now and we'll put it in writing. Installment payments. What do you say? I don't even pause. No, I never do. I use. A flash of anger crosses Richard's face. Muge, this won't work, that won't work. Are you deliberately disrespecting us? I laugh lightly. And if I am, what are you gonna do about it? You little punk. Do you have any idea who you're talking to? This is beyond disrespectful. If there's nothing else, I'll be going. With that, I turn and walk straight out the door. Watching me leave, Richard says in a low, firm voice, that transcendent-grade equipment means everything to Jingnan City. We will obtain it no matter the cost. At those words, a cold gleam of killing intent lights up every pair of eyes in the room. There is only one option left now. Take it by force. With the exception of the Mo family representative, James, and a small handful of others, nearly everyone in the room signals they are in. Richard surveys the room with a satisfied nod, then says without ceremony, Mo family head principal James, if you're not joining us in this matter, would you kindly step outside? Quinn Mo, the head of the Mo family, and James exchange a glance, then smile wryly, and rise to leave the room. The moment they're outside, Quinn probes carefully. Wang, I honestly didn't expect you to pass on a piece of transcendent-grade equipment, let alone sit out this whole operation. James smiles calmly. Quinn, we've known each other a long time. You just want to know what I think about Muge, don't you? No need to dance around it. Quinn laughs. Sharp as ever, Principal Wang. Then I'll be direct. What is the deal with this Muge? What made you willing to give up your shot at transcendent-grade equipment? James shakes his head. Just instinct. I have a feeling there's a lot more to Muge than meets the eye. Quinn's interest is immediately piqued. You mean Muge defeated the Frost Colossus without relying on the Bloodbind pill at all? I can't say for certain. I just have a nagging sense that if anyone provokes Muge, the consequences could be severe. Besides, that equipment was already as good as decided for Richard the moment he laid eyes on it. I have no interest in competing with someone like that. What? Kaiser is dead? Who did this? Before him, several black-clad figures kneel on the floor trembling. One of them swallows hard and stammers. The one who killed the young master, his name is Muge. He's Jiangnan City's top exam scorer. Winston Huang turns the name over in his mind, then shakes his head slowly. A nobody managed to kill my son? Am I supposed to just let that go? The black-clad man speaks carefully. My lord, there's no need to worry. Despite being top scorer, none of the principals or city officials have offered Muge any backing. Winston frowns. Why not? The man explains in a low voice, because his score is believed to have come from a bloodbind pill, not his own power. That clears everything up for Winston at once. A vicious look spreads across his face. So he's nothing but a spent shell right now? San, go eliminate Muge. Bring back proof and search him for any extra bloodbind pills. Yes, my lord. On the other side of the city, I stand before a grand manor and can't help but marvel. So this is the Mo family estate. Holly spots me and says with some surprise, Muge, you're here already? I figured you wouldn't show up until at least this afternoon. By the way, are you interested in Zhanghai University's trial dungeon? Are you planning to apply there? I smile. I'm the top scorer. Why would applying to Zhanghai University be surprising? And your score is more than enough too. Don't you want a shot at the best academy in the country? Holly sighs. The score is there, sure, but I'm not confident I can clear the trial dungeon. I wave it off. Don't worry, I'll team up with you. Holly looks at me in disbelief, then narrows her eyes as if something just clicked. You're not plotting something, are you? I never said it was free. I carry you through the dungeon. You help me get my hands on a summoner skill book from Nangzun. Use your family's connections, pay full price, and this stays between us. Don't tell me you're A. That's right, I'm a summoner. I'll have the family do everything they can to find it. We head to the trial dungeon tomorrow. Don't sleep in. The next morning, Holly and I arrive at a plaza the size of a small town. Holly can't help but say in amazement, so this is the trial plaza? There are so many people here. I take a quick glance around and point ahead. That's where Zhanghai University's trial dungeon entrance is. Let's go. I lead Holly up to one of the portals, and we step forward to touch. The portal to Zhanghai University's trial dungeon. A status panel appears before us. Abyss Dungeon, Lost Temple. Zhanghai University Trial Dungeon. Difficulty, Normal. Challenge, Hard. Nightmare, Inferno. Difficulty levels 1 through 15. I study the panel carefully, and a faint smile touches my lips. I remember this dungeon, the Lost Temple. The first person to clear hard difficulty or above receives a unique, limited edition piece of equipment. That item would go on to become one of Dragon Nation's most legendary treasures. In my previous life, that treasure was claimed by a summoner from Luogu province, and that person went on to become one of Dragon Nation's 12 war gods. Holly reads the panel with wide eyes. I've never seen this dungeon before. Is it brand new? I wonder how hard it actually is. The words barely leave her mouth when the portal flares, and a team stumbles out in terrible shape. Several of them are drenched in blood, some with a leg completely severed, gears shredded beyond recognition, their faces pale with lingering terror. The group mutters among themselves, how is this possible? We're a level 7 elite squad, and we couldn't even clear a level 5 dungeon. This is insane. They shake their heads with defeated sighs and shuffle away. A dungeon like this, probably only top rankers like Li Hu or Yana, or top talents from other cities could barely scrape through. Honestly though, Muge and Holly should be pretty capable too, right? Muge? He cheated his way up with pills. And Holly, sure she's talented and looks great, but she just rode Muge's coattails. Just idle gossip, not worth a second thought. This dungeon looks brutal. Muge, are you sure you want to bring me along? Absolutely. One more person means better odds and the rewards double. Besides, this is our deal. I'm not one to break my word. With me here, no dungeon is too hard to handle. Hard difficulty? Are you serious right now? Here's the thing. The Lost Temple on normal difficulty hasn't been cleared by a single examinee in the entire country. Are they seriously going in? Am I seeing this right? They picked hard difficulty? Are these two out of their minds? That's practically a death wish. I ignore the noise around me. Once I confirm our selection, our bodies dissolve into a flash of white light and we enter the portal. When the light fades, Holly and I find ourselves standing before a colossal ancient palace. I tap Holly, who is still standing there in a daze, and stride forward. Holly hurries to catch up, and along the way casts a high-tier buff on me that lasts 2 hours, granting 2 points of spirit to all allies. The moment we step through the temple's entrance, I come to a sudden stop. Holly looks puzzled. What is it? Before she can finish, 2 massive boulders crash down from above, slamming into the ground right in front of us. Holly goes completely rigid with shock. What? Why are there traps in here? I smirk. The Lost Temple is loaded with traps, and every single one of them is designed to be merciless. Anyone charging in blind for the first time is guaranteed to pay for it. First-time explorers have been known to lose their minds entirely from the traps alone. In my previous life, someone even compiled a trap guide and sold it, spawned an entire industry. Last time, these traps made my life miserable. This time, not a single one catches me off guard. And this is just the beginning. Watch. No way. These stone colossi have absolutely insane stats. Strength 12, Speed 7, Spirit 3, Skills, Heavy Strike times 10, Sacred Valor. Even most level 8 practitioners don't have strength that high, and this is a level 5 small fry? That's insane. Muge, should I go in as a tank and soak some damage for you? I cut her off. No need. In an instant, a massive swarm of insect creatures surges forward like a tide, materializing all around us. I almost forgot, you're a summoner, I had nothing to worry about. The insect creatures receive their orders. A swarm of blade bugs launches toward the stone colossi like arrows loosed from a bow, surrounding them in an instant and unleashing a relentless, frenzied